I have gathered everyone here today to make an important announcement. Perhaps some of you will have heard the news already. I am, in fact, planning to rebuild the Jade Chamber.
Rebuild the Jade Chamber? That's a...
So the rumors are true. No one...
The Jade Chamber means a lot to
Lady Ningguang.
Patience. Since the news made it out a few days ago, I have already... Nevertheless, I do have a few matters I should like to entrust to you. The building site has been chosen, and most of the material... They are as follows. Sunset Vermilionite, Wonder Cores, and Adepti Sigils.
Excuse my ignorance, Lady Ningguang.
Only sufficiently large pieces of plastrite, or specifically, vermilionite. Adepti sigils serve as a means of Although these three items are rare, I trust that with your connections and capabilities, I take the saying, time is money, more seriously than most. You may ask me anything.
These things won't be easy to get hold of.
Then it's the deal of a lifetime.
Haha, what a coincidence. I won't divulge too much, but I...
No. We better move quickly, or this...
Ningguang's rebuilding the Jade Chamber?
So you heard my announcement, did you? What do you think? Interested? Yes.
Really? Ooh, then Paimon will ask you about... Then we'll never be short of more...
Of course. The construction of the Jade Chamber requires a great deal of space. The abandoned mine outside the I have other business to attend to now. Otherwise, I would gladly escort you to... Remember, this is a race against the clock.
Ningguang seems super busy. Come on, first we gotta get out of Eugene Terrace. Huh? Look! It seems like there's something kind of fishy going on over there.
Ma'am, you seem like an eminent and distinguished young lady to me. As it happens, we have some information about the materials that I really think might interest you.
No, I don't need it.
Don't be like that. Hey, why don't you stand there? After her!
Oh, right, yeah.
Did you hear that? They said they had some useful information! Information's just what we need right now. Let's follow them and see what we can find out. Huh, they're not here. Let's keep looking.
Well, will you look at that, ma'am? Don't worry, we're not bad guys. You give us some mora, we give you a little info.
Boss, I got a bad feeling about this. Look at her, the white...
So what? She's loaded. How are we ever going to repay those gambling debts if we just let money walk away from...
I've already told you. I don't need your information. If you still can't grasp that, I'm happy to repeat it in a way that won't be so...
Come on, ma'am. You seem like an intelligent lady. I shouldn't have to spell this out to you. It's not about whether you need the info or not, okay? It's about you taking out your money.
I won't...
No more excuses! Yeah, I saw you. Strolling into Leo Lee, then seen you at kiosk, then Wanmin restaurant. How could you afford to be so...
Master warned me not to lay a hand on... But here we are. Perhaps... yes. Let's call it fate.
Boss, I'm telling you, something's not right.
What are you afraid of? We're just selling information. It's not illegal. If she lays a finger on us, all the better. We'll sue her for everything she's worth.
Oh, you again.
The Millilith? What are the Millilith doing here? Did you do...
Silence! How dare you?
No, don't...
Shenhe,
Shenhe?
my name.
Oh, so your name's Shenhe!
Oh, I've heard about you two before. I could have dealt with it myself, though.
You can't do that. This is Lila Harbor.
Laws? No, apparently not.
Really? So how exactly have you...
That would be my stomach growling.
She's so honest. Wait, that's right. They said you went around all the restaurants. Then of course you're still hungry. So?
Chingson, Glaze Lily, Violet.
Kinda hard to explain. Anyway, Boo Boo Pharmacy's not far away. Let's take Shenhe there for a big medicinal meal. After all, you can't work on an empty stomach. Psst. Do you think Shenhe might be an Adeptus? It seems like it's her first time in Liyue Harbor, and she doesn't...
Are you here to buy some herbs? I do hope you brought your prescription.
Chingson, Glaze Lily, and Violet Grass, please. Half a pound of each.
What kind of prescription is this? Sounds more like a lunch order. Oh, here you go. That's everything we have in stock.
Thank you.
She's really eating them!
My hunger has now abated. Thank you. Rather awful. Though they were not completely devoid of sweet fragrance.
So, how can you chow down on... If Paimon had enough more,
Because I'm not sure whether I will The food of the mortal realm is most delicious. But should I return to the mountains, yearning for the food here shall only pose an obstacle to my sampling each dish in order to appreciate its taste is enough.
return to the mountains. That proves it!
Enough about me. What are your...
Oh, right! Paimon almost forgot! And...
I see. I heard something about the contest when I was passing by.
Yep! You get to ask Ningguang any question you want if you win! Were you interested in the contest too, Shen?
I came for the rebuilding of the Jade Chamber, but until this point I had no intention of joining a contest. However, you have shown me your kindness, and I would now like to lend you my assistance.
Wow! You really don't have to. But having an Adeptus help out will make things a whole lot easier.
Then let's not delay. I have a plan.
Great! Paimon bets this is gonna be the...
I am not sure whether or to what extent this plan... We simply need to dispose of everyone who is currently a...
Veto! That is not acceptable!
Really? But I hear that competition isn't...
Look, we want to win this competition. Sunset Vermilionite, Wonder Cores, and Adepti Sigils.
I was wondering who I could hear arguing over there. So, it's you.
Baishu? What are you doing out here?
Lady Ningguang wishes to purchase a large batch of wound dressing. We're running low at the store, so I came out to fetch the ingredients personally.
Huh? How come Lady Ningguang needs so much wound dressing all of a sudden?
I'm not too sure. I did hear she's looking to rebuild the Jade Chamber. Maybe for its first aid on site? I didn't ask, though. Far be it from me to pry into my customers' personal affairs. Oh, and she also borrowed Chi-Chi. Meaning Boo Boo Pharmacy is...
No, we've got other stuff to do. While you're here...
Ah, the variety of plostrite used in the Jade Chamber, yes? As far as the records show, virtually all Sunset Vermilionite in existence...
Okay then, let's go ask at the Feiyun Commerce Guild. Thanks, Baiju.
You're quite welcome. Good luck to you all.
I can't read what this says.
Master Xingqiu, thank goodness you're finally back.
Oh? Why do I detect an urgency in your voice?
The guild has had a whole string of strange orders in recently. Your father gave me specific instructions.
I see. Have someone sort the orders by
Oh, how wonderful. Thank you, Master.
Hey, Xingqiu! Glad you're here. We want to ask you for some information.
Traveler, Paimon, please wait a moment. Shu, I need to entertain some guests. Please.
Understood, Master Xingqiu. Then I will leave you in peace.
I wasn't counting on finding you here today. What's going on?
Xingqiu, have you ever heard of Sunset Vermilionite?
Oh, I see. So you've entered Lady Ningguang's contest as well.
As well?
The truth is, the Feiyun Commerce Guild is in possession of some Sunset Vermilionite. We are holding it on behalf of someone who has asked us to put it up for auction. At the end of the day, it all comes down to supply and demand. In this case,
500 million?!
Honestly, I would recommend that you don't bother bidding on this one.
But with that...
Don't panic. I don't suppose you ever heard of Sea Gaze?
Who?
Oh, Sea Gazer was once very close to Mountain Shaper, but if I am not mistaken, he has already passed away. Yes, precisely. I didn't know anyone else knew about him. According to records of drifting clouds, Sea Gazer once built an abode to store his rarest and most exquisite treasures, among which was some Sunset Vermilionite. After Sea Gazer passed, the abode was abandoned, and its location was lost to time. Luckily, I came into possession of a stack of folk history books just recently. They make some oblique references to this lost abode, and after cross-referencing them against each other, I'm now fairly certain that it is
That's great! But wouldn't it be a little, you know...
You needn't worry. As far as I understand, Sea Gazer was very open-minded. Even while he was alive, he wouldn't have let something like this bother. Open-minded? I have not heard of Sea Gazer being described in this way before. Just a rumor I heard out in the mountains. All right then, let's go. There's something about this young lady that reminds me of a good friend of mine. Oh, I almost forgot. Adepti abodes tend to have very ingenious designs.
Okay, we will be. Thanks, Xingqiu. Let's see. Xingqiu said it should be around here, but Paimon doesn't see anything.
This place was hidden using a special Adepti art. But now that I have removed it, we can inspect the area more closely.
Wow, that's amazing! Yep, let's take another look around. Hey, look! Is that a new Sealy over there? Incoming. Don't blink. The Sealy got to here and then disappeared. What? Weren't we at a waterfall just now? Oh, so many clouds. It feels like we're high up in the sky.
I believe this is the abode of that Adeptus. With any luck, the Sunset Vermilionite we're looking for should be—
Really? Let Paimon see. Look, it's gone and snuck beneath the clouds. And now that Paimon takes a closer look, the rocks and trees here don't—
These are not real clouds. They are the product of an— If we want to go down, we must first destroy the mech—
All right, then let's do—
I sense the presence of monsters in this place. Transfiguration! Shoo!
Check this out!
It appears that we've been taken for intruders. This time, why not allow me to take care of this? Take your true form! Obey!
Check this out!
My will embodied!
Nowhere to hide. Speed of light. Ha.
Transfigure. The core of the mechanism is exposed. Now's our chance.
Whoa! We're gonna fall! Is everyone okay? Look! The ceiling has disappeared beneath the clouds again!
It looks like we need to go further down. But before that, let's destroy the guard mechanisms on this level first. Transfiguration!
Don't get too close!
I'm about to pass out over here.
My will embodied! transfiguration!
Let it rain. Don't blink. Sword from shadow.
I'll be fine.
Here's backup!
Do your master's bidding! My will embodied!
We're gonna fall. This time, we're really gonna fall. So high. Luckily, there was a pool of water at the bottom. Otherwise, that could have ended very differently. Hey! That Sealy's on the move again. Let's catch up with it. Something looks different about this stone wall. Let's take a closer look. Ninjutsu!
No one escapes my sights. Incoming. Cut to the chase.
Take your true form! By ordinance divine! Unleash!
Fire it up!
Gotta dash.
Don't blink. Nowhere to hide.
Take your true form!
Bye.
Let it rain. Incoming.
Gotta dash. Bye.
Don't get too close! I got you covered!
Don't blink.
your true form! Cryo Incarnate!
Speed of light. Cut to the chase. Hey! No escape.
My will embodied! My will oh!
Fire it up! Here's backup!
Do your master's bidding! My will embodied!
Look, over there! Could that be the sunset vermilionite? Is this it? Is this the sunset vermilionite? It's so huge! That's true, but then again, why isn't it floating?
Plaustrite doesn't float until it's activated. It may look only after being activated does Plaustrite reveal its true nature, breaking free from the shackles of the mortal.
Wow, Shenhe, you seem to know everything about this.
Only because my master is fond of chatting about these things. I don't care for her stories most of the.
Hold on a sec. If we activate it here, but if we don't activate it, how else are we gonna?
Don't worry. I can handle the weight quick.
Are you sure?
Please don't worry. I'm well aware that a Plaustrite sample this large must be highly valuable. My safety.
That's right. I'm unsure you can handle it and everything, but if something this, you gotta be extra careful when lifting heavy objects. It's just common sense.
Is it now? Well then, thank you. I'll go on ahead with the Plaustrite.
How is Shenhe able to carry that huge rock all by herself? Adepti super strength much?
Quite a downpour.
We can't slow down yet. Let's go meet her at the building.
The sun is out. Our work's done for the day. Shall we take a stroll?
Oh my god, I can't believe my eyes.
How can she lift that massive rock all by herself? She's gotta be one of those Adepti.
Oh, mighty Adeptus, please give me your blessing.
This is top tier in size and quality, and the condition it's in is quite simply immaculate. Congratulations, I'm going to award you full marks for the Sunset Vermilionite item.
My name isn't important. I'm not even here. I was just delivering this for some other people. They should be here any minute now.
Shenhua and Ningguang's little helper.
Ah, so you're the ones behind this. No wonder. The rarest talent turns in the rarest plastrite specimen. But I have to correct you on one point. It's not helper, it's secretary.
Okay then, Miss Secretary, what do you think of the rock we found? Pretty amazing.
In truth, it is the finest piece of plastrite we have received so far. If everything goes according to plan, we will use this piece in the foundation of the Jade Chamber, which will enable us to proceed to the next stage of construction. As a side note, Lady Ningguang has rented some dwellings in the nearby area to serve as accommodations for the contestants. If you need a place to... Now, please excuse me. As you can see, there is still a lot of work to do on the building site.
Shenhua! Shenhua! Just now on the way over, pretty much everyone was singing your
Oh, really?
What kind of reaction is that? So strange. Aren't you happy about it? Whenever Paimon gets praised, Paimon can't help but hold her head up high and break into a big smug smile.
I've had similar compliments before. They call me an adeptus, treat me with great deference and respect, as if I'm so...
Yeah, 'cause that's how adepti are. At least...
But I am not...
Shenhua?
I'm fine. I've been exerting myself quite a lot ever since...
Well, Byron said that there are some makeshift hotels we can use, right?
No need. I simply need to find myself a secluded place in the wilderness to...
You can't do that. It's dangerous out in the wild. When you're hungry, you go eat something tasty. And when you're tired, you go lie down in a nice, comfy bed. All right?
Okay. If you insist.
Great! Now we're talking. Let's head to our hotel.
Hi there! Checking in, are we? You're just in time. We only have 2 rooms left. Since this was chosen as the building site for the new Jade Chamber, we've had a constant stream of people in this area. And not just workers either. Visitors, business people, tea sellers, all sorts. So, business is booming for me today. Very few vacancies. You're lucky you got here when you did.
Great!
One of your rooms is still being cleaned. I guess it should be ready within the hour. The other room is just through the door on the left. Here are your keys. All right. Hope you enjoy your stay. Please excuse me, I'll leave you to it.
Shenhua, you should go get some rest. We'll hang around outside until the other room's ready. Paimon's gonna go see if there's anything. Let's buy one for Shenhua, too.
All right. If you need anything, don't hesitate to disturb me. See you tomorrow.
Hey! Isn't that Cloud Retainer? What's she doing here? Let's go and say...
One trusts you have met Shenhe. So, are you getting along quite well?
So far, so good. Yeah. So, you know Shenhua too, Cloud Retainer?
Naturally. Save for Ganyu, who spends the majority of her time in Liyue Harbor. All the Adepti living today are acquainted with Shenhe to some degree.
Cool! So, what's her Adeptus name anyway? Calling her Shenhua feels kind of friendly, but also kind of disrespectful.
Her Adeptus name.
Don't all Adepti have a special title they go by?
On this latter point, you are correct. However, Shenhe is human.
Oh, right. Wait, what? What? You knew already? So is Paimon the only one who didn't know?
Do you mean to say that she presents differently from ordinary human beings?
Well, to start with, her problem-solving methods are extremely direct.
Ah, yes. She was like this all those years ago when one first met her. In this respect, she has not changed. One first found Shenhe by chance in a cave. One was passing by and sensed the presence of a god's remains. Being of an ever-vigilant disposition, one entered immediately to inspect the scene. Inside was Shenhe, then aged around 6 years old. In her hand, she held a dagger with which she was confronting a monster that was the god's remains incarnate.
That sounds so dangerous.
When one arrived, she had already been locked in confrontation with this monster for several days. Most mortal children are fragile, both physically and mentally, and are highly reliant on their parents for survival. But not so. That she was able to endure such terrible danger was due not only to her strong willpower. One dealt with the monster, yet she still refused to lower her guard. She even pointed her dagger in one's direction and remained ready to strike. Only after she was satisfied.
In other words, if you hadn't passed by that day, Shenhua might have...
Not necessarily. Upon one's arrival, one could sense that the god's wrath was gradually receding. Even had the stalemate continued,
That's still so dangerous, though! Why was a tiny little kid battling against the wrath of a god in the first place?
Alas, the mortal world is rife with suffering of every kind. And she had experienced her fair share of the... Indeed, it is one to whom she refers. Shenhe has an extraordinary... However, her homicidal urges did not subside with age. Mooncarver once performed... The red ropes have indeed served to keep her calmer and more content. They also seem... It is only by fate that people's paths may cross. Now that Shenhe's path has crossed with yours.
Oh, now Paimon gets it. You came out here to check up on Shenhe because you were worried about her, didn't you?
Huh. You dare Ningguang once made... If she handles it admirably, let us conclude our conversation here for today.
So, Shenhe isn't an Adeptus after all. She just grew up around the Adepti. Oh, no wonder she doesn't like being treated as an Adeptus. Having everyone falling over themselves to show their respect all the time must be kind of hard to deal with.
work-life balance, but I think this is pushing it.
Hey! So, Shenhua...
Master has relayed my situation to you, I take it.
Oh? How did you know?
I'd intended to wait until you came back. I was worried that something may have happened to you. So I went outside to check and caught sight of my master. On top of this, you have been acting very strangely around me this morning, causing me to suspect that my master must have told you everything about me. After all,
Sorry, Shenhua. Paimon had you down as an adeptus this whole time.
It's okay. I don't mind. The fault is mine for not explaining everything to you sooner, because Still, though you mistook me for an adeptus, you never treated me as distant and unapproachable. Instead, you treated me as you would a friend. For this, I am very grateful indeed.
To be fair, we've met our fair share of real adepti, too. Anyway, now it's settled. From now on, you're our friend.
Got it. Although I don't know quite what it—
Great! Well, now that we're all rested up, we should start searching for the other— But before, after all, Sunset Vermilionite is so rare. Paimon doubts many competitors will really— Oh, and another thing. We bought some grilled chicken drumsticks on the way back last night. There was a place just outside. Here's one for you, Shenhua. Try it! They're so good.
I concur. It has a rich flavor, far more agreeable than those I've cooked for myself in the wilderness in the past.
Look! The Jade Chamber is floating in— but it seems to be tied—
That's because it's not finished.
Hey, Bywin! And hey, Beto! And hey!
Given the enormous scale of the— Before we find some suitable once the plastrite is ready, the remainder of the
Miss Bywin, we've brought some new materials to—
One moment. The construction work has only been able to progress this rapidly thanks to the plastrite provided by you. Lady Ningguang is most grateful and looks forward to seeing more of your work.
Wow, can't believe you sourced the
Beto? You're joining the Jade Chamber contest too?
Sure am. I happen to get my hands on a—
Huh. So even though it's—
Oh, I've got some introductions to do. This is the renowned Miss Yoon, or Yoon.
Greetings.
These two are Paimon and the Traveler, both good buddies of mine.
Shenhua. I am there.
Good to meet you. A friend of a friend is my friend too. Or, as I like to say, a mate of a crewmate is part of the crew. Miss Yoon is also here for the contest. Turns out she needed to borrow a boat, so we came together.
It's an honor to finally meet you both. I've heard much about you. Miss Shenhe, to be honest with you all, I am in great need of this opportunity.
Wow.
Excuse me for prying, Miss Shenhe.
No, I don't have any—
In that case, Lady Ningguang said that the first 3 contestants to procure all 3 materials, instead of competing against each other, we could work together to secure the top 3 places between us. What do you think?
Sounds great, but how does that change things exactly?
I think the plastrite was the most difficult item to source by a long shot. Luckily, all 3 of us— How'd I do? Is that what you had in mind?
Precisely.
Huh.
Okay then. All right. I'll go. From what I've heard, the core itself—
We will head into town and seek advice from Master Zhang of Hanfeng's Ironmongers. Thoughts?
Wonderful. I'm gonna take off. See you later.
Okay, let's— By the way, what question are you gonna ask?
I'm looking for a venue to host the
Ooh, what's the—
The opera is a labor of love by— It's called The Divine—
Ah, hello.
Excuse me, Master Zhang.
Of course I have. Sorry.
My name is Yunjin.
Yunjin? Stage you. Sorry. So, you're here. The types of ore needed to make wonder cores are a little...
No, we were gonna...
Sure. If I remember correctly, it could take some work, but if you stick with... Of course, it's probably just here.
Mount Tianheng.
Interestingly enough, the story of the divine... I hear the view there is... Perhaps it can give me some... I came to Mount Tianheng once with my father as a child. I remember it being such a long climb that I could barely feel my legs by the time we reached the top. This is quite a trip down memory lane for me. Look at these majestic, towering peaks and the gently flowing streams. It's like setting foot in paradise. No wonder the legend of the divine damsel of devastation is said to have taken place here. Adepti wander oft where more...
The divine damsel of devastation? What's the story about?
It's the story of a girl.
Cool. A hero story?
The legend first arose in this area. It is said in that village there was a loving couple who the wife was out collecting herbs and was captured by the monster. The vile and vicious monster told the villagers, if you want to live, you must sacrifice...
What a nasty piece of work! Paimon sure hopes this monster gets put in its place!
But the monster was so terrible and so strong that all within the village were terrified of it. Just while they were discussing whose child would be given over to the monster, a little girl suddenly...
No! Don't do it, little girl!
Unbeknownst to anybody else, she was concealing an exorcist's blade. She approached the monster's lair, feigning fear and trepidation. When her extraordinary abilities drew the attention of the Adepti, and they took her as one of their... And so, destined to grace the mortal realm for but a brief moment...
I really like this story. But I personally think that perhaps the little girl was... not as brave as the opera. I'm not sure she deserves all the praise she...
I've never considered that before. Opera is always an interpretation of the events it purports to portray. A certain degree of deviation. When my father wrote the script for this play...
Well, it sure This should be enough Star Splinter iron. Now we just need to find that Subrosium.
I think I saw a village on our way here. Master Zhang said we should ask the locals for help. Why don't we try there?